Look at all these ducks. I live right over where I live in Delaware. I guess this is some of the northern ducks are headed this way, and others are moving further south or whatever. But yeah, it's just quacking around here. Still banded. As you can see, I have figured out how to wrap this thing around myself so that it's nice and smooth. So I wanted to come back and give you my impressions of the belly band. After I ordered it, I came to discover that there are a lot of competing methods out there, most of which don't involve wearing a belly band. In fact, or a splint. This is a rehab splint. In fact, I didn't see any that involved wearing a splint, but all of them involve working your transverse muscle, etc. At first, it kind of made my stomach drop because I felt like, man, you know, this wasn't cheap. And I went ahead and I ordered it. Should I have ordered something that didn't include the splint? Because let me tell you that this splint is stiff and it does take some getting used to. My first day, I was a little uncomfortable. My muscles kind of felt a little bit sore because I don't think my body is used to being where it's supposed to be. And that's what the splint does. It tries to bring your abdominal muscles back to where they're supposed to be so that this connective tissue can, you know, heal like this in the position it's supposed to be, as opposed to healing like however your split is, because your split can be anywhere along the line of where these muscles meet. And so in listening to Julie Tupler's program, what she was saying made a lot of sense to me. Also, in learning that you can exacerbate your split and reopen it and re-injure it by just daily activities and movements that you do when you twist, and the way you get up, the way you lie back down, the way you reach for things, when you're lifting things. There are so many movements during the day, even things like coughing and sneezing and, you know, having bowel movements, how you strain can, you know, spread things out, and it's difficult for the connective tissue to heal. So I like the idea of the splint, because even if it's not holding my muscles perfectly at all times, because it is stretchy, at least it reminds me that I need to watch the way I'm doing these things, because now I have a habit of doing these things all the wrong way. And even in the way that I breathe, you know, I do the shallow upper type of breathing, where every time I I exhale, I'm pushing my stomach out, which is stretching everything open. Whereas I'm learning to do more of a belly breath, where when you exhale, you're actually bringing your transverse muscle in. And it's not natural at all. I have to reteach myself these things. And as I said before, I feel like the splint reminds me to do what I'm supposed to do. And when I do the wrong thing, at least it's some support, so that when the stuff starts spreading, it doesn't spread too much. Another criticism I read about was that maybe wearing the splint is a bad thing because it's doing all the work that your muscle should be doing. So in truth, you're weakening your muscle. But I think that would be balanced out by all the exercises we have to do throughout the day. And every week, more repetitions are tacked on. And I think after the first week, another exercise is tacked on to that. So, and also all day, as I'm conscious of what my body is doing, I'm holding in my transverse and I'm working it. A program that's making me aware of what that muscle is doing all the time. So honestly, don't think that's going to be an issue for me. The only thing I would say about the splint, though, is that during the day it can shift around. The shifting is minimized by the fact that, as you can see, I'm wearing a stretchy tank top under my clothing. So the tank top kind of helps it to stay where it's supposed to be, and it also is a nice barrier between this stiff, rigid material and my body, so I don't have any type of irritation. During the day, if it moves around, I can adjust that, or I'm aware of it quickly. And you're told multiple times a day, like several times a day, to fix it if things go out of place, because it's not one piece, it's three arms that, you know, are kind of like wrapped around each other, almost like an ace bandage around your stomach. And so during the day I can monitor that. But you're also told to sleep with it. You're supposed to wear it all the time except for when you're taking a shower. I move around a lot in my sleep. And so the couple of nights that I was wearing it, I noticed that it all bunched up here under my my breast, or something was digging. One of the arms moved and was digging into my abdomen, and it was hard to breathe because the bands moved and they weren't positioned the way that they were supposed to be positioned. And also, as I move my back and hips and things like that, since the band is fairly firm, you put it on after you've sucked in your gut and everything is back where it's supposed to be, it can feel tighter than it would feel if I was awake and standing upright or sitting upright or even lying down in a conscious way. And so I've decided that sleeping with it is not the wisest thing to do. So I'm not sleeping with it. However, I do realize that there's a need for me to sleep with something. So I went to Walmart and I found this belly cincher, and it's made of the same type of material the top of your tights are made of, the firmer, stretchy stuff the top of your tights are made of. And so it's a lot more comfortable and smooth, I think, to sleep in. So I plan to sleep in this, and if that doesn't work out, I'll be back to tell you. But I think this would give me enough support, and it comes in all levels of support: light support, medium support, heavy support, and it's cheap. So I have several. I have black ones and ones that are this color that I could wear under my bedclothes. And I know my husband was looking at me like, you coming to bed in that? So maybe something like this would be less obvious to come to bed in, and if he wanted to, you know, put his arms around me or something, there wouldn't be this hard, stiff, cast-like thing around the middle of my body. I decided to move forward with this program, not only because I already spent my money and the other programs also cost money, but because I noticed that everyone that was giving a review and the ones that had a negative review that switched from this program to another program all said the same thing. This program, the Tupler method, did close up my split, but you know, I'm moving to this program for some other reason. Nobody said I did everything I was supposed to and my gap didn't close. Nobody said that. Everybody said my gap closed. One lady said she gave up doing the program, but she said she lost 4 inches and kept the 4 inches she lost off. Look, guys, if I can lose 4 inches, what? I would be very happy, because as you can see, I'm not that big, but, well, you can't really see because I'm wearing the belly band and it holds my stomach in. But sorry for not posting before and after shots. I took the pictures, but I love y'all, but I'm just not in a place to put myself all the way out there like that. But just know, when you go and see pictures of people who have this condition, I'm not the most extreme case, but I'm right there in the middle with my stomach hanging out like Santa Claus, like it shouldn't. So, and on a small person, that looks kind of bad.